Okay, so I'm going to go over squats. I'm not going to make a million different videos to go over all the different ways you can squat. I just want to cover some basics to show you, make sure you've got good form when you're doing them. So when you're squatting, you can do a barbell back squat with the barbell on your back. You can do a barbell front squat, with the elbows extended, have the barbell across the upper shoulders. You can do a goblet squat with a kettlebell or a dumbbell, holding it here, and going up and down, keeping that on your body, the shoulders out. You can do a TRX squat. You can use a Swiss ball and put it between your back and do a wall ball or a ball wall squat. So obviously there's a number of different ways you can do squats. All I'm going to do is show you a simple air squat. And you'll hear air squats a lot now. They're really common in the CrossFit areas, calisthenics also. So air squat is simply because you're squatting air, right? So what it's going to look like, a couple of things I'm looking for. You want to try and maintain a good alignment. If you're going to be doing barbell back squats, you want that weight to basically be right over your ankles, okay? So the most important and one of the first things I look for with the client when they're doing a squat is the first movement should be that hip going back, okay? If you automatically drop, if you notice, if you can bring down and look at my knees and my feet, if I just drop without my hip going back, my knees end up way over my toes, my heels want to start coming off the ground, okay? That's a big no-no, that's overloading pressure on the knees, okay? So what you're trying to focus on is first and foremost that hip is going to go back, and you'll notice as my hip goes back and I come down, where are my knees now? They're not over my toes, my weight's in my heels, my toes are lightweight, okay? There are some exceptions to the rules. You'll see when Olympic lifters are loading up all kinds of heavy weight, those toes will drift over the knees a little bit, but they're also going to have much better flexibility in the calf muscles that allow for that. So everyday regular person doing squats, or if you're not a regular person, you're going beast mode and still doing squats, what you want to focus on is, again, that hip is going to go back, okay? As you come down, and I'm talking just from the lower body right now, as you come down, hips go back, come down as low as you can comfortably, push through the heel as you stand up, and come up and get that squeeze with your glutes into it, okay? So again, it's going to be hip is going back, pushing through the heel as I stand up, okay? Now, you want to focus on the upper body. What you're trying to do, I always tell clients, kind of cue them to say, imagine like you have a name brand or a label on your shirt, and you're trying to show it to the mirror in front of you or somebody that's in front of you. So as you're coming down, your chest is up. So that hip is going to go back, that chest stays up as low as you can comfortably, and push back up. So you'll sometimes see some people doing squats where they from the hips down are great. They're coming back with the hips, the knees aren't above the toes, but then they're doing this. To me personally, it looks like more you're trying to go to the bathroom, maybe the constipation squat's kicking in, I don't know. But so you want to, again, keep up. That goes back to the thoracic extension that I'm always harping on, which is keeping that chest up. Shoulder blades are relaxed. Think like somebody's poking you in the back. So you want to keep the chest up, your hip goes back, come down again as low as you can comfortably, press through the heels and stand up. One other cue I'm looking for is dead on, and you want to have a mirror with you if you don't have a trainer to watch this, but I'm going to go a little Steve Urkel on this so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's hot right there. So what we're looking at is the knees, okay? You want your knees to track in line, and you typically want them to go where your toes are. So if you have tight calf muscles and you feel like you're not getting a very good range of motion, you can turn your feet out just a little bit, but it's important to make sure that your knees, as you come down, also point where your toes are pointing, okay? Ideally, it's best if your toes can point straight ahead. But like I said, if you get tightness or knee pain, there's nothing wrong with opening your feet out just a little bit, or even widening your stance a little bit. But what I'm looking for, when you come down, You don't want the knees to buckle, okay? So what'll happen, the incorrect way of doing this, as somebody comes down, those knees will buckle in. And you can see my toes are here, my knees are there. That is putting a lot of pressure on the knees, okay? So generally that's going to happen from an overactive adductor complex, adductor complex, which is going to be tight and pull that knee in, and weak glute maximus and glute medius, weak external rotators, which are going to not allow the knee to come out. So one thing I try to get people to do is when they come down, I tell them to focus with the knees being above the toes. As you come up, because this is usually where the knees will do that little buckle thing as they come up, especially as you start getting heavier weight. Imagine like your feet are trying to pull the carpet apart and you're going to push out with your feet as you come up. If you notice, as I do that, my knees are going to stay in alignment, okay? You'll also know you're doing it right if you feel activation all the way up and down the side, okay? So the things you're looking for: knees being in alignment with the toe, hips going back first, knees not going over the toe, and then again, keep that chest up as you come down, as you come up, okay? That is perfect, good form right there for a squat.